Hey everybody, welcome back to the scentitar channel. It's great to have you here again. Um, I'm always trying to bring out content where we connect with one another, we learn about each other's fragrance journeys. If you're new to my channel, I do have top 10 lists, and I have all kinds of discussions about different topics. But today it's going to be a little bit more about my experience, so y'all can connect with me as a fragrance reviewer and as a fragrance lover. So, guys, there's this tag going around. I don't think it's too popular. It's probably not going around too much anymore, but I think it's a great tag, and I think it has some great questions, and I even added my own spin to it. So let's get into it, guys. It's all about my fragrance journey. I would love to know about your fragrance journey in the comments below. Let's start that discussion, guys. So, the first question is, what is your first perfume you ever bought? Honestly, I can't remember if it was Polo Red or Versace Pour Homme. I think it was Polo Red, though. I had went to a mall, just like I encouraged y'all to do, like in my last video. I smelled out some fragrances, and I really went for the first one that really drew my attention, and it really spoke to me personally. Polo Red, of course, is like a red fruity fragrance. It's a little bit sweet. It has saffron, which I love, and it's a little bit woody. It's just a very playful and a very youthful scent, especially for a man. So that it was a really interesting experience because I hadn't bought a perfume before that. I didn't know very many people who wore fragrances at all before that. So let's jump to the next question, guys. It's what is your signature scent? Guys, this is another big topic of debate. Most of us probably don't have a signature scent, but I do think that each one of us has a certain scent we might really be drawn towards. Maybe not for the entire year, maybe for each season. One fragrance that I'm particularly fond of and drawn to is Tom Ford's Pour Homme Extreme. Guys, I don't think it gets enough attention. It's kind of like a refined, softer Dior Fahrenheit. It's a little bit darker, has a little bit of earthiness. And of course, Tom Ford's seductive, touch on his fragrances. So I think it's a really great fragrance. If you liked Tom Ford in the past, or you want something for a classic, if you're a gentleman and you want something that's a little bit more playful for a date night, it's something that's still classy, certainly upscale. I think that's a great one. So I really love that one, and I tend to reach for it, at special occasions. So the next one is, what is your most recent fragrance purchase? My most fragrant purchase is a gift, so I'm saving that one for my family, just in case they see this video. But my most recent personal fragrance buy was C.H. Men Privé, and I really love that fragrance. It's kind of like a cardamom, soft, spicy fragrance. Has a little bit of a youthful feel, almost in a way it has a feel of La Nuit de l'Homme, but in another sense it almost feels like Spice Bomb in a way. Really interesting stuff. Has a little bit of a leathery vibe, and the booziness really makes it something special. So I think that's a really interesting fragrance. So another one is, what is your date night scent? So I have La Nuit de l'Homme. I have to mention that one. It's a great fragrance. Everybody's talked about it. Everybody knows about it. So I won't talk about that one too much. Another fragrance I go for sometimes is Palo Santo by Carner Barcelona, I believe it is. And that's a niche fragrance. That one's a real soft, kind of incense vanilla fragrance. It's on the gourmand side, but I still feel it's a little bit upscale and classy, but it's just so comforting. The incense is really nice. So that's a bit of a special fragrance for me. Guys, let's get to, what is your spring summer scent? It probably is just Acqua di Gio Essenza. The Essenza, I think, is a little bit more mature. It lasts longer. I just like the feel better. It almost has like a little bit of a classy and serious touch like Terre de Hermes. It certainly doesn't smell like Terre de Hermes, don't get me wrong, but it's a little bit more mature, so you younger guys, you might not appreciate it as much. But for a summer scent, I'm just really drawn to it. And for summer nights, Les Artisans Kalinga really speaks to me. It's almost resinous, but it's very fruity, almost like a acidic type of smell. Not particularly like pineapple, but something like a quince or something really interesting like that. Maybe a particular pear could smell like it. It's very intoxicating, and and it's not particularly fruity as in playful, but it just does something for me. It's a very special fragrance, and I'll make a review of that one as well. So it's a great fragrance. So the next one, what is your fall winter scent? Guys, I do have a real fond spot for Lalique's Ancre Noir El Extreme. The rum, the booziness, the spiciness, and the very dark and alluring nature of that fragrance really does it for me. It's a little bit more daring on the designer side, so it's not for everybody. But for another fall fragrance, I mentioned, for me personally, Fan Your Flames by Nishane is just wonderful, guys. It's an unbelievably good fragrance, but that one's different too because it has coconut, rum, it's spicy. It's a very playful fragrance and sophisticated. It's a little bit of kind of the opposite of the Ancre in a way, but they're still both very good quality, and they have a smoothness and a character that I just love. So the next question is, what is your favorite scent category? Gourmands just stand out a little bit more. I do like all those categories. There's all kind. I really don't stick to a category per se, but I think that gourmands are something really special, and they don't necessarily have to be sweet either or smell like food. They just have to have those notes, and they can be really rugged fragrances or really bold fragrances. Once you get into the niche world, it opens up a whole new world, and I think there's so many possibilities with those notes that hasn't been explored yet, and that can be really interesting with food type of smells. And again, they don't have to be sweet. There's so many out there. There's so many things that can smell like wonderful, aromatic food or ingredients. So next one is, what perfume do you want to buy next? Oh, this is a loaded question. There's so many out there. I have a huge list on Fragrantica that helps me remember and keep track. One that's really been on my mind is trying Sauvage Eau Parfum, the most recent release. I felt like Sauvage had potential. Again, it didn't do it for me personally, but if they were able to make like kind of like a deep aquatic that's a little bit more mellow and classy, I feel like it could do really well. Almost like a Bleu de Chanel that's more modern and with much better performance. But that's in the designer scheme of things. For a niche fragrance that I've really been wanting, oh my goodness, there's so many. I've really wanted to get my hands on Les Artisans Dezing. It smells or sounds very playful, kind of like a semi-sweet leather fragrance with interesting, just like playful animalic side to it. It sounds like something I'd be really interested in. Let's see, what perfume do you want to buy next? Was that one? So let's get to, what is your favorite scent so far? Let's see. That's a really hard question. There's so many. Of course, I like Aventus. Everybody likes Aventus, but I wouldn't say that Aventus is my favorite. Please don't dislike me for that, but even though a lot of people say it's the king, I think my favorite fragrance right now is Wolfsbane. It's just so unique. It's so different from any other fragrance that I've smelled out there. It's almost like Black Orchid by Tom Ford, but it's a little bit more animalic, a little bit more avant-garde, something unique and different, something that I can kind of call my own. Again, that's just for me personally. It's a really great fragrance. So, let's see, what is your most nostalgic fragrance? Um, Probably is Versace Pour Homme, because that's my first fragrance I bought a big bottle of, and I really bought at like full retail. It really spoke to me. I really like neroli. Neroli can smell kind of soapy or super fresh and clean, and it just was a really versatile fragrance. It really beat out Aqua di Gio for me personally, and it really is my first fragrance that really spoke to me. That really changed the game for me, in my experience. I would love to know what your first fragrance was and how much it meant to you. So that's really my nostalgia with that one. Of course, I have other scent memories, but that one, just smelling that one and making that first buy, making that first step, is what my channel is all about here at the Scentitar channel. And I hope you enjoyed this list. I hope that if you're a viewer, will make a list like this. If you don't own a lot of fragrances, it would be exciting for you to write this list down yourself, and or maybe have a goal to do this list yourself. As far as doing a tag, last time I started to tag, people, it didn't go through, or people didn't go along with it. I think I'll tag Timmy and Imagine Scent and Robes 08 for this one. I would love to know a little bit more about their experience, and of course, there's great reviewers. I certainly hope nobody's been offended by my videos. I appreciate you all in the fragrance world and the fragrance game, and again, thank you guys. And comment below, with some of these things I've asked you. Hitting the notification bell again is really important, because you won't get notified of my most recent video, even if you're subscribed. So hit the bell and subscribe. So guys, I'll see you again next time on the Scentitar channel. Bye.